doors. Here's some view on a bridge. And it's kind of some work on the other side, so it's like little noise. But still I kind of just like to stay here in the river. Here sometimes it's like egrets flying, catching fish. So, and I think it's just nice view to talk about some tips of composition. Так, let's see. Stop. Okay, kind of this. This. Just trying to tune this thing. Okay, so here I see it's interesting, like a good example of like abstract composition, and it's kind of this case where it's like nothing much exciting, but you can do a lot of stuff just by combining and arranging patterns. So I have here some repetitive patterns, and with these patterns can create kind of like abstract composition which will work like a music. Так, what's my sync is? Wow. Second. Okay, like this better. So first here about this composition, it's like we can see it's like one vanishing point perspective, and I like break it down to main elements. So what is main elements here? Same going like categories, right? Like general category here, like sky, ground. Then ground we have road, we have pedestrian road, we have vehicle road. Then like between sky and ground, this kind of intermediate kind of space, it's buildings, this architecture. So we can also talk about what is different and what is like common within these forms. So in like if we talk about ground with these roads, fence, all this stuff, they very much like about shortening in one vanishing point perspective. If we talk about buildings, so this is kind of vertical shapes. This is like rectangular vertical shapes, and perspective there is like boxes. You see, is like not very strong for shortening. They're like more like intermediate because they're like in the middle plane. It's like this building, for example. It's like 45 angle box. If you've seen my tutorial about rotating in perspective. So this like okay, let's say nature, right? Like I will not cover much nature this time, but let's just for example. So if talk also nature, okay, on the ground we have river, we have this like a grass and bushes, and we have trees. It's kind of like a contrast opposite to industrial, to this like urban, not industrial, urban environment. Like urban environment, we have roads and buildings. Nature environment, river, grass, and trees. Like trees as some kind of like intermediate like connection between ground and sky, right? Just compositionally kind of. So then you start to go like more deep. You start to go more in detail. So then we say, okay, what is pedestrian road here, right? What is it? And what is difference with vehicle road? So vehicle road here is some kind of like, do you see it's really like very like a monolith with some like this like pattern line, and it's occupied by mostly like vehicles, cars, motorcycles, sometimes somebody on a bicycle. Pedestrian road is like have this pattern, so it's much more busy with patterns. And pedestrian road can see like different type of people walking, like as different age. It can be somebody go to school, somebody go to work. It might be like old people, they just walking around, they want to kind of stay healthy, move their limbs. Like right now we see some bicycle. It's kind of important to keep in mind, and you see it's kind of like this way you just considering it as a categories, like we're having the folders and we have these categories with subcategories. Because if I say it's a bicycle here, okay, there is a types of cyclists, right? This is a type of bicycles. It's a rent bicycle, it's a children bicycle, all the stuff. When you have category, you have more freedom for creativity, because now you have like a limitation, like let's say it's some kind of like a playground. When you make these limitations, you say like, okay, this is area where I will do my creative process, and this limited area became your playground because you establish rules and now you play with these rules. You know what might happen within this playground and what is not happen, kind of, right? So then we can see also like about fence, right? We have like here, very cool. It's like two kind of fence. Very interesting. So I spent like years to build this thing, this kind of thinking, and then I just realized it's very essential. This is really. This is actually what means artist vision, is not like ability to see. Yeah, it's like everybody can just look, right? But what you see depends on how you think. And how you think, okay, if you don't have like professional system or like advanced like visual analysis kind of system, then you will see like any average person without any clue, kind of, just like walking around, So, and then we can see like different professions, they have different systems, kind of mind approach, like how they break down, how they analyze environment, depend on their background. Like architects, engineers, like my friend engineer, he will look as engineer and everything around. He will like look materials, he will like see, like immediately he will see this kind of drafts and structures. Everything is crazy. So it's very interesting to listen like how he explain construction, kind of. Idiom. I'm just a dude, and this is Taiwan. I'm in Taiwan. Taiwan, Taoyuan. So here let's like go again like gradually like how to apply this thinking in the drawing process. So you start from general picture, so it's just like say like how I want to organize kind of all of them. So let's say so there's like different way how you can start. You can start with perspective grids, or like me now I start with arranging main elements of composition. So for this stage right now, like main goal is to find place for every element I want to include in my drawing. So exactly in the way I formulate it. So I don't push myself kind of to try depict like right accurate proportions. I don't like chasing accuracy like you know trying to really like portray each building exactly in a way. It's very important. It's very important how you define your goal in like in the words, you know. So it's like exactly in which words you set your goal. What is your goal? What do you want? Before I don't know this, and it's like amateur, you know. So they're like just try and do everything, just chasing everything, you know, like kind of crazy monkey something, like just running for every shiny object. So you like try to make everything together and everything perfect. Kind of like I want to make it super accurate. I want to include like everything, and I want to like do everything like in the most realistic way possible, kind of, right? So it's like it's it means you just don't have clear priority. You don't have like realistic and clearly defined goal. It's like, say, it's like I want to be like travel all countries. I want to be ballet dancer. I want to be on the moon, and I want to be president of all countries in the world, and like world champion in every sport. It's kind of like uh, really like maybe you need to start from like go to check yourself kind of. So same here, like it's insanely diverse and broad discipline kind of art. There's so many stuff in visual art, right? So it's you take pencil and paper, it doesn't mean it's you doing one thing. It's so many stuff to it. It's so many options, so many like different approaches, different genre, different goals, different styles. So you need to learn to kind of see what you want more precisely. Dun, 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 dun. Because like same, yeah, when I have this goal, when I have like number one priority, I can be like I can be satisfied. I can actually achieve this. It's possible. It's feasible. And then, if I can, I will do extra. I can do something like more than only this top one priority. So, in that way, if I do extra, okay, I will have like extra like achievement, right? So like say, yeah, I do even more than I plan. But if you don't have clear goal, you just see how everything just wrong, and it's kind of breaking you, and that's why also so many beginners give up, because you bet in everything. You bet in everything because you're a beginner, and also you bet in everything because you will always not perfect in everything. There's always flaws. You can always see, like every artist, no matter what master he is, there is some mistakes. We can find always something to see, to kind of criticize, or notice something. Так. So it says this kind of general thing here, and like I say, we have this stuff in between sky and ground. We have this stuff here. This we talk about something like visual, like I say, like abstract composition, right? So it's like we have this abstract wise, it's some kind of patterns, forms, shapes. So I can say like this kind of rectangular shapes with some kind of like these abstract patterns. Some windows, lines, like a lot of geometry. But also these groups and these elements, they also have like a narrative aspect. They also represent something. So it's not only abstract shapes and forms. It's also like somebody living house, kind of, right? Somebody living there. Like in the cars, there's like somebody going somewhere. There's people inside. So we can say about like different model of cars, like they have different meaning, kind of, right? So some kind of different brand, maybe different status, like somebody buy like very expensive car and he's like want to show his money, say look, I have a like expensive or rare, very rare car, like hard to buy, you know. So it's also kind of storytelling. So what kind of clothes, what is condition of a road. So you can see I'm in Taiwan, I'm not in China. Like in China, here will be some trash and speed everywhere. So, but Taiwan is very clean. So this kind of narrative. So if I, so and like I say, right, like narrative also has this hierarchy and uh, categories, like categorical hierarchy. It's kind of it's called tree, hierarchical tree, something like this. Anyway, it's like mind map, right? So we say like pedestrian road, people, bicycles, people. Okay, it's visual, also it's narrative. What kind of people? It's visual and narrative, right? So it's like it's kind of from um, sociology, from literature, science, kind of like because they're like a symbols or they represent something, right? So and you think, okay, what for what reason, in which kind of people? You as artist, you have two reasons. You have like you want to create image, you want to create atmosphere, mood, and you want to say something, right? So it's kind of two aspects of message: is information you deliver and like a tone or flavor of this information. Like what is your message about this information, right? So it's like what is mood, what is atmosphere. So if I say it's a school, like children going to school, same you can say like, oh, he have a bad mood, like some student go to school in a bad mood, or is like lazy student, or is like very dedicated student. So many variations, like, and yeah, it might be sounds like too much, but I don't know, give me your comment. But it's actually not, it's just about, it's about clarity, it's about essence, kind of. So this is what make difference between like bad art and real art. Real art is like it's always essential, it's always um, clear and I don't know how to say, it's like conscience, kind of like conscience work. So like artist, he know purpose and meaning, kind of every element in his work. Так, so let's see. I think about maybe if I also, when I add car, right? Like I say, I want car to be as part of composition right now, because if I put some cars here, they will bring some movement. So this kind of will give me information about this space. Like, okay, there's something happened, the car can be on the road. Also, I can see like kind of, bring some life to this space. And also it start to move. Like it create more movement inside. Not only like static movement, because it's like perspective is movement on itself, but this kind of static movement is not actual dynamic. It's kind of visual dynamic, right? But we can put some actual like kind of object dynamic. So when is something move, so you make somebody walk towards or you make somebody walk away, you make some birds fly. So it's also kind of your create like no, look which better position for wings. So you see also it's about what I say all the time. No matter what reference you use like a real life, or you drew from photograph, or you use some kind of elements from real life or from photograph, right? You always make your own thing. Reference is not your shortcut, kind of, right? It's not your way how to do less work. It's only material to feed your work. Так, so let's see. Maybe I put motorcycle here. Also make a lot of action. Так. Так. Okay, maybe makes so. You see, I've already started to kind of work on some details, and now I make some marks to help me draw details and patterns, because patterns, they have this structure. So I need to make sure I kind of like align to structure. So you see, yeah, also you see like what I did here. We have like a lamp stamp, this electric lamp, kind of, right? It's just like simple object, but you can use it to create dynamic composition. Now it's kind of only with the lamp we have some kind of melody here. It start to sound, right? So then we have trees and buildings, right? So somehow it's kind of three elements of this intermediate space. And I can also show like their relationship kind of between. So they're kind of not on their own, but is some sort of exchange. It's just in the shapes of these different objects. So let's say, so like each element I place this element considering all composition. When you start to kind of just look one object and just drawing it on its own, like especially like I say, you know what this everybody beginners do this mistake. They start to kind of jump in some object and they start like, oh yeah, if I draw this building, I need to draw it like look exactly like this real building. And he stand and he start to copy building and he do this. And after 20 minutes, this building look like something totally outside from composition. You know, it just start look like somebody just drop a stone in your picture and this stone is like just totally out of place. Instead, you make line, you see like, oh, it's like related, like this diagonal related to this diagonal, then related to this diagonal, then related to this, related to this, related to this. I look all of them. It's kind of take time. You don't learn this from a first attempt, but you need to keep it in mind and you will be better with this. And it's kind of very fun. It's very fun to see how you can combine narrative, design, like totally different things, you know, but you align them all together, like make it be like some real object, but in the same time it's some very cool pattern. It's very interesting abstraction. Just like abstract wise, it looks like interesting. Like so yeah, maybe you can say it's like three components, like which is very different in nature, but you can organize them together and they will, and this kind of composition of balancing, organizing totally different aspects, it's what make it like outstanding kind of, right? And like what all drive awesomeness is came from this, because it's nice like when work is cool design, cool shapes, but when it's also means something, when it's also telling you something, it's like, you know, it's became multi-level, multi-dimensional stuff. Like it's really start to blow people's minds. They're like, when you make this kind of multi-level thing, this is when we have this like books or songs or paintings which is became like immortal and like everybody can find something in this work, no matter like what how different people, how different viewers, they will always see something personal in your work, because this thing, because it just creates this combination of narrative composition kind of and message. Так. So yeah, it's kind of imagine like you can be good artist, like you can be like very able to draw very accurate and stuff. But if you don't have your own vision, um, it's kind of will be very very sad. Very sad. Okay, kind of this I think enough. Don't want already kind of going too many lines. Something like this. Так. Maybe the lines brighter. So good art skills without vision and without good message, like strong, clear kind of idea. It's like I don't know. It's like beautiful girl without manners and without like intellect. We need both. Так, kind of this. So when I draw anything here, it's very very important to keep in mind you're doing abstract composition, not only some stuff like we want to make it realistic, but also you want to make it interesting, like just as abstraction. So like you see like this, like a design, right? We have these curves, we have diagonals, and it's like abstract composition is like fractal pattern. So it's just like multi-level pattern. We have like a big scale pattern, and we have them as like go on more and more small levels. Так. Let's see here, whoops. Так. Yeah, another narrative. It's a whole family on the bicycles. Very cool. So when I've been travel and draw different country, different city, this is what I was observe. Like how in one place how many narrative it can be. So you just learning like potential of space. You're learning like all possible narratives can happen, and you kind of really experience them. That's why I also love to draw work spaces. Somebody workshops, somebody like office or factory, because you can see also kind of narrative, like storytelling of their environment, like what people do, what type of people there, what type of elements, shapes. Oh, this place really so amazing. It's like it's like city noise and calm of nature at the same time. Because like in my left ear I hear river and birds. In my right here is cars and workers. So funny. So there's sometimes bird sits on a lamp. So maybe I can do. So key difference is your center is your thinking, not your vision. Because when you arrange your work around your understanding about how you what decisions you make, what you want to show, what you want to draw, and why, then you have much more control. You can control all this information. You can like it's totally became your work. When visual is the core, is the center. When you try to kind of dance around accuracy of like copying visual, make visual representation, kind of all the stuff, then you are not free. You are very stiff, and you are like, you're like in a captive of your reference. It's like reference is your boss. So be the boss of you are who make decisions, not your reference. So you draw what you choose to draw, not what is there right in this second in front of you. Like you even not obligated to draw like exact amount of flowers or leaves on the tree, you know. Так. So you see again, like what I do. I draw in, like when I make lines, it's like these marks on paper, right? So, and I arrange in these marks according to abstract composition. So I want it to be like dun 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 dun. I want to create this music, you know. So I purposefully kind of break this like how to say, I break this intention to focus on one object and draw it completely. I break it to lines, and I make sure I arrange it. I draw this object as a part of a whole, design, kind of, right? So it's building here, but you see we have this kind of shapes, like kind of like a lamp shapes, right? So, and I keep kind of like growing complexity of this composition, like add elements to this music. You know, it's some kind of like a like this DJs or whatever, you know, when they have this like music like dun dun dun, then you add some more elements like dun 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 dun, and you keep kind of adding ingredients to it. So this is what I'm doing right now here. I just see how it start to kind of moving, playing, and I put inside some more components. So, and this thing is like super essential, super important, but you will very hardly find any information about this, because there's kind of in the books of composition and these like boring composition chapters, or like this hard to read books like Arnhem, you know. So artists usually kind of lazy to read theory, and same with YouTubers with all these tutorials. Dun, 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 dun. So also, if you like this my approach, I have video on Gumroad, advanced urban sketching. So there I talking about this. It's like 30 minutes about, or 40-minute video, like very detailed and like heavy information there. It's not just like video of me drawing, it's there's like theoretical video with explaining principles. Так. Somebody with a dog, so another narrative here. Maybe I can draw dog. I'm bad with drawing dogs, so it will be something like this. Так. Dun. Yeah, I'm living in Taiwan. Так. So you see here rhythm of this lines here, rhythm of this lines, rhythm of this lines. Так, then rhythm of these things. Then same you can do like leaves, for example, right? Like so, if you can just draw a leaf, like copy, like oh, where's the leaf? Like oh, it's a leaf one here, one there. You know, try to copy it. No, you say like okay, here is a leaf, so I can draw some leaves on the ground, and then I say like okay, I want to draw these leaves, so this will create some another one more dimension of dynamic in my work, like at least for me, like I like to make it more dynamic, so I just keep adding, keep like grow dynamism with the different elements. So we have these patterns repeat, then I can drop some leaves, so I will drop them some kind of movement, right? So when you have this intention, you just, even if you don't have experience, you don't know much theory, just have intention to kind of create movement with leaves, you know. Somehow you will make it, somehow you, and maybe not from first time, but you will adjust. So because so many stuff in composition you just learn from try and error, and from having like intent and being like insist kind of insist in getting to your vision, kind of reaching your creative goals, kind of, you know, like making some kind of hypnotizing dynamic composition, you know. So you look on this drawing and like it's really like take you away. This like what I always try to achieve, kind of, you know. So not always achieve, but always learn something in a way. Always learn kind of new tools, or maybe practice and understand better some features I can use next time. With the trees, actually, you can make like a sense of wind. I sometimes I forget it and I keep reminding. So let's say like if you draw this like waves of foliage, you know, like this, like it's kind of make it visual of wind movement. So let's say here we have this movement, right? So it's like a wind, like, so then here I can like extend this feeling with some branches and flying leaf. So now we have like more narrative, kind of, right? Because we have tree here, we have wind, and we have leaf falling away from tree. So now we know, this is why tree on the ground, leaf on the ground, because this how this leaf is flying away. So it's kind of like it's like you're creating reality within your work. You see so many aspects to it, and how much better than just mindlessly drawing some kind of resemblance and say like, look, I can draw building, I can draw tree, you know. It's just much kind of have this like clear and conscious analytical aspect of your work is just so much more advanced than mindless picture making. And this is just kind of essential quality for every professional artwork. Just not every artist verbal about this. Not many artists they can really say this thing, like how it works, can explain, or no, sometimes even don't understand it because they have practice, but they never kind of think about how it works much. Like Miyazaki, he even intentionally he say like I don't want to analyze my methods, analyze like how I can create because he afraid to break it, like start to distract his process with his thinking. So no matter what different artists attitude to it, but everybody has this very very conscious way of work. It just come with experience and like better understand it earlier. I think it's better if you earlier understand and start to deliberately develop this. So you see, it's all of this is elements of composition. All of this is my composition means nothing for visual like resemblance. Visual resemblance is a secondary quality. Number one quality is what to do for my compositions. Is number one quality. Purpose of everything here. Is this like work for narrative or is work for energy, for mood? It all should work for something, should be kind of deliver some kind of effect or information. Start to get colder. It's kind of think of drawing on a coat. It's I think because you need to use your brain and you don't move, so more blood move to your head, so you're kind of losing temperature faster If you're doing physical job or walk, you cannot be cold so fast. Так, so if you're drawing a cold, make sure you take some like more than you usually take, more clothes than you usually take, because it will be colder after 1 hour. You will really frozen. Так. Funny motorcycle here. Так. So here we'll draw like a van. It's kind of make opposite movement. Так. I forget this a lot. Okay. Here will be traffic light. This. So same, instead of look much about how actual foliage look like, I will draw it as a pattern to show movement. So it might be wind, or it's just kind of movement here within composition. So same like we looking for motifs in nature, right? Like on from life observation, we're looking like, oh, what kind of view we can draw, right? What kind of situation we can draw. Same about composition. Same, we're looking for interesting patterns, for interesting arrangements and kind of visual solutions, you know. So you learn composition from nature, or like, let's say, like life environment. Because for me, like city and urban area, it's also nature. It's just kind of second nature, so called. You know, like it's have this kind of idea of second nature. It's like now we're making this virtual reality, so this will be like third nature, maybe, you know, like next another level of nature. Because no matter like how it's made, but it still lives by nature laws. It exists by some kind of universal nature principles. It's like God laws, or you can say it's like quantum physics or whatever. Just don't want preaching, kind of. Can choose according to your worldview. Oh, it's really cold now. Так. Something like this. So even this, like Taiwan winter, is for me is like autumn, but it's already cold enough to numb your fingers. So they start to be stiff. When I was in North Russia, near Finland, in Karelia, there was like minus 50 in the winter. And first time in my life I feel like how easy you can be frozen to death in the street. Just like, because you doesn't feel you're frozen. When you will feel you're frozen, it will be too late. It's kind of, you need already like get somewhere warm. Так. something. Так. Just. Okay, some quick here. Some surreal building. Так. Oh, this egret. Let's the sky. Okay, no focus. Oops. Oh, there's a lot. Later we'll show you. There's a lot of egrets in the river. Так. Так. Where to put it? Let's erase some pencil. kind of this. Так. This was recently a lot of birds here. Here, flying up. Okay, so see you later.